What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today I'm going to hit you up with my thoughts and opinions on the self-titled album from Avantdale Bowling Club. This is a group coming out of New Zealand, and they're headed by the MC Tom Scott, who's also a part of the hip-hop group called Homebrew. And I gotta shout out my boy Dharma Rat for putting me up on these guys, because otherwise I would have missed it. I'm glad he put me up on it, because this is definitely something that's going to make my year-end list, probably somewhere within the top 5. One of the main things I love about this is the lively, organic jazz production. It's very groovy, with tons of build-ups, switch-ups, and instruments. I'm talking stand-up bass, flutes, strings, just everything coming together to make a very beautiful project, and one that you can really vibe with, you know what I'm saying? It's not just a bunch of simple 808s and synthy stuff that gets old quick and repetitive. It's not just some simple loops. This would be the type of music that I think would be great to see live. Really, really dope as far as the production goes. And there are also some nice backing vocals and sing-songy flows throughout this project that really add to that overall aesthetic. Sonically, it's just very pleasing to listen to, unless maybe you don't like jazz. But if you love jazz and more traditional hip-hop, I really think you're going to love this, so don't sleep on it. I also got to point out that the rapping throughout this is very strong as well, because thematically it deals with just finding yourself through introspection and growth, just looking at your past and who you were, looking at where you are now, and kind of tying it all together so that you can become a better person. Definitely some grown folks rap here. There's nothing overly graphic just for the sake of it. And I also got to point out that Tom does not waste any bars, man. Pretty much everything he says on here is meaningful or ties into the project. And he's also working some very nice flows as well. As an MC, he has that technical skill to keep you engaged, and he does mess around with his voice and delivery styles as well. I especially like the way he twists his voice and flow on Pocket Lint. It really just keeps you engaged as you're listening to him rap on this song. And this is a cool track because it deals with what it's like when you have your back against the wall and nothing but Pocket Lint. You know what I mean? You're just doing whatever you can do to survive and get by. So you definitely feel the despair and desperation in his voice and the way that he's rapping on this song. Now, the album's opener, Years Gone By, is another clear standout because what he's doing here is taking a nostalgic look back through some of the brighter moments in his life when he was playing Ocarina of Time to some of the darker times where he was losing people and struggling with some of his own issues. So I really appreciate that track, and the song Home opens up on all of these ideas even further as he's looking at where he comes from and also showing love to his friends and family members. As far as the songwriting goes, this is one of the songs that really stuck with me because he's talking about what it's like when you come from this area, you leave, then you go back and visit. I think anyone from a small town will be able to follow along with what I'm getting at here. Because once you go back, sometimes you realize that you've changed as a person. You're not the same. Some of the people who are still there think that you've changed for the worse. They haven't changed at all. They're looking at you differently. There really is a lot of feeling in this song. And as you listen to him rap, you can almost picture it all in your head. I really just connected with this one, and I thought the minimalistic production here worked as well. It's just very chill, and you are getting some great singing vocals on this track too. Not sure who it was singing on there. I did look at the credits. Maybe it was Tom. I'm not sure. Someone can let me know. But this was a great track and easily one of my favorites. I just feel like as I listen through this album, you really get the sense that he went through a lot during the making of it. Either that or he was looking back, obviously, and pulling from it. I think it was a combination of things. But either way, you really are getting an emotional project here, and you feel everything he's saying. Even on Quincy's March, he states that he actually almost gave up on the album because of some self-doubt that he had, but he kept going, and he no longer gives a shit about being the best rapper. He's more focused on being the best dad. That's actually something that comes up a couple times on here, just the growth of him as a person, trying to get over various things, whether substance abuse, battling with self-doubt, depression, desperation, all of that. So again, this is a grown-ass project with a lot of growth and inspiration for you. You are going to get more of this growth and inspiration on the song called Friends or Fiends, because the R in the title is actually in brackets, because on this one he's speaking about substance abuse and how it can have an effect not just on the person, but also the people around them. He speaks on himself having to deal with some of these issues as his girl was about to have a daughter, so he wanted to really switch up and change who he was for the better. I don't know if it was a daughter or a son. My apologies. She was going to have a baby anyway. But basically, he realized that he's getting too old for messing around with these drugs. He can't keep up with that shit. Just a very raw and honest moment on a very raw and honest album. It's actually really dope how he breaks all these things down. And as someone who's listened to him for the first time, I felt that connection to him. I felt like he was really great at conveying his messages and who he is, as well as what he's been through. So that is a sign of a great MC to me, man. This is my first time listening to him, and I really felt like he was going in on a lot of different topics and doing them very well. Also, just throwing this out there, one of my neighbors is blasting some music real loud. I can just hear the bass pumping. I don't know if it's coming through in the video. If it is, I apologize, but I got to keep going because I'm pretty much through it. But You know, conceptually, this album is just very airtight. You're getting the story of a man's past and how he's learned from it, and the longer length of these tracks really helps him express all of that. He's not cutting himself short, because even though some of these tracks get to be quite long, they're great because, again, that instrumentation is so groovy. It grows, it evolves, it builds, it keeps you interested, and he's an engaging rapper as well as he mixes up his flows, rhyme schemes, and delivery styles. Pretty much everything about this is dope. Even the song Water Medley, this is like 9 minutes long. This has a lot of great switch ups on it. But my favorite part for sure on this song was that first part. Just reminded me of like a water palace in an RPG, you know what I mean? You're going underwater to do some type of shit. Hopefully not in Zelda, because I hear there's a water palace in one of the Zelda games that is absolutely brutal. One of the newer ones, or well, not new. I'm old, right? Okay? So when I talk about Zelda games, I'm thinking like the first two on Nintendo. Haven't played all the ones that were on the 64 and all that shit, but everyone always tells me about this water palace that's brutal. Either way, this beat just reminds me of a water palace, and you're getting just beautiful keys all over it, as well as this nice little refrain on the outro, just singing about letting your ego go. Really ties in with the project, man. Just letting that ego go, learning, growing, evolving. I've said it many times, but that's what you get from this. So I'm really, I feel like I'm just scratching the surface here because there's so much to break down and get into. I think you guys are going to love this, especially if you love the idea of jazzy hip hop with great flows, meaningful bars, and a commanding mic presence. This is a very strong 4.5 out of 5, man. Really enjoyed this project, one of the year's best surprises, so hopefully you guys will check it out. That's what I like to do with these reviews sometimes, man. I like when I can put people up on new music, just like I was put up on this by Dharma Rap once again. Thank you, that's my boy. But that's it, man. That's all I got to say on this one. You guys check it out for yourself and then let me know in the comments section what you think. Hopefully you like it as much as I did. If you didn't, let me know what you think. Either way, I want to hear about it. But that's all I got to say on it. Thank you again for watching. Make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff where you show me love, and you show me lots of it, baby. As I hit this, let me just, there. Be still, my friend. Be still. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.